This is the path to Bore Pier, which is the epic abseil cave. Really nice landscape scenery along the way. Quite a steep path, but we could actually use motorbikes to bring the camera equipment up here, which would save a lot of lugging. Great landscape. Okay, so this is Bore Pier Spirit Well Cave, which is about an hour and a half's trek from Lanna through beautiful terrain like this. So it's going to be quite an epic trekking trail. This is the landscape overlooking Lanna Cave. It's located just on the other side of that knoll over there, just over a kilometre away. But you have to drive several kilometres to get there. But it's quite a dramatic and beautiful landscape. We are about a kilometre up the hill from Lanna Cave entry, and this creek flows into Lanna Cave. It's dry at the moment, but I think it'd be a nice creek to do some dry canyoning down. It's really quite steep enough that you could probably get down without ropes, but it's a challenge, and I think it'd be nice. You'd be able to pick off some nice angles heading down this creek. This is the approach on the upstream side of the cave. So this would be an approach for our explorers to enter the cave. So we're just above the entrance to the cave here, and there's elephant tracks and buffalo tracks down here coming out of the forest. So it clearly is quite a wild area in the sense that it's still full of wildlife and old growth forest and such. So this is the main entrance on the upstream side of the cave, and it's very dense jungle out here. This is one of the very few places that has some sort of a handrail or a walkway. The rest of it, I'd say like 98% of the cave is just natural. Some nice angles through here. Thousands of mini stalactites and hundreds of stalagmites trying to meet them. A lot of macro stuff you could do in these sorts of locations. Really beautiful. And I think it'll look great with the explorer coming through here, checking it all out. It's like a little wonderland. Lots of macro points of interest through these sorts of locations. Got loads of these millipedes with such amazing movement making their way around the cave. This guy's over 20 centimetres long. And if you're discussing movement, what a magnificent creature to display movement. This is one of many waterfall curtains that we can kayak immediately below with the guys looking up with lights. I think it'll look really quite beautiful. Heaps of interesting formations which I think would be great for filming with a drone, because the caverns are quite large and you can really reveal some great perspectives with good lighting. So light and shade and shadow are going to be very important in framing these shots. This cavern has a lot of small bats. These bats are much smaller than the ones at the entrance. I can't get a good enough look at them actually to identify them, but they are here in numbers of probably about 40 or 50 I've seen in this particular cavern. I'm standing here in the river, which is a kayakable section of river, and it's very hard to see with the light, but there's a curtain of stalactites which is about 60-70 metres long up here, and a lot of it's glittering white and it's quite stunning. And I think we could paddle past the base of this curtain, which is about 10-12 metres high, and so there's the water just down there. And with a drone shot, I think you could really pick off some epic looking angles. 600 metres or so into the cave, we've got otter footprints, which is really interesting because it's completely pitch black. There's zero ambient light in here. But clearly otters make their way through to here fishing. Again, we're in the main stream here at the base of this formation, which is just glittering and glowing beautifully. And my camera's not going to do it justice, but it's really an impressive formation, about 10 metres high. Okay, it's taken us 2 hours, including stopping to take videos and whatnot, to reach the waterfall. So the waterfall itself is quite an impressive feature. It's this huge section of flowstone. Joe would recall, that flowstone section in Laos that we tried to film in proper lighting. It's similar to that, and it drops a good 10 metres or so. And along the way, it's got these lovely little flowstone pools, which I don't think you can see very well with this poor lighting that we have. But I think it will be quite spectacular, and I think with a drone shot, and good lighting, you'd be able to make something quite amazing of this location. I think it's excellent. So there's a bunch of these flowstone pools cascading down a 10-12 metre drop to a large pool down below, which you could actually kayak through that section. It's quite deep and long. So here we are, cave angelfish. This guy is probably about 4 centimetres long. Pink colour, you can see both his forward and aft fins that he walks with. He's on a waterfall slope of about 45 degrees, quite a strong current, and he's clinging on there really well. It's remarkable actually that he can, there you go, here he is, in the corner here. So every now and then he kind of swims across a bit. It's remarkable he can hold on in this current. It's really quite strong. There's 4 hanging off the waterfall here, right next to each other. There's 2 together, 3, and where's number 4 gone now? Number 4's taken off. But the point is, we haven't even had to set anything up, and we've seen them repeatedly across the waterfall, so it actually seems like it's pretty easy to film them. Quite a lot of flowstone through this cave. Nice movement of water. Really some awesome formations throughout this cave. And with a drone, I think you could pick off some fantastic reveals if you had good lighting set up. It would be really impressive. The caverns are quite huge, so you've got the space to use a drone and do long shots and tight shots and reveals, and a lot of the angles you can only really get, I think, from a drone perspective, because there's just no way you could get up into the middle of a lot of these caverns.